Alright, so I think we missed a few things in the recipe, so I'm going to use my hammer to pick those up. They pick all the way up with a single left click because they're doors and they're not like carvings. And I'm going to put those back into my bag so that I get the tiles back for them. I keep saying pixels, but they're technically, they call them tiles, so I get the tiles back for them. And we're going to take our recipe and we're going to make sure that it's set. I already did this to fixed, 90 degrees. And I think what we're going to do is I'm going to actually move that all the way up to the top because I want the rotation period to be on the other side, right? So I want it to go all the way there. That's the rotating point there. 90 degrees fixed, like I said, and we'll save that. And now what we'll do is we'll make 2 of these real quick. Craft 2 more. Don't forget your recipe. And now I can put this down here, and then this one I should be able to just flip around and I should be able to put him down. This gets a little funky placing, by the way, sometimes, especially when you're up against something else. I think with this sharing that block space, this might be a problem, so this might be hard to get placed in. We may actually have to think about this differently. Because that's, you see, it doesn't want to go there because of that. But actually, we wanted it rotated anyways. I rotated this the wrong way. Alright, so I've got this all figured out. You can see both these doors are opening to the right space, and there's no gap in between. And I'll show you what I did. Let me take them up real quick. First things first, on the recipe, I made 1 door. And then I went into the recipe, right? And I changed this to minus 90 degrees, and I made the other door. That way they make sure they rotate opposite of each other. And then I made 1 of those. One thing to be aware of, I just figured out, this isn't actually eating recipes. What it's doing is it's popping them out. And my system was automatically picking them up, so I found the recipe in there. So I was wrong. It doesn't eat the recipe, it just throws the recipe out of the thing when you close the table. And if you've got magnet card on like I do, then it's going to pick it up and seem like it ate the recipe. So my mistake there. Alright, now what we do is we take these 2 guys, and we're going to put the first one down here, like this, where he would go. And then the second one is going to go in here, but he still won't go in. He'll want to fight with you. So what you can do is you can hold... What was it? Shift? It was shift. You can hold shift, right? And shift will be like, allows you to place it into terrain and stuff like that. So if you hold shift, you can line it up right, click it in, and then it is in place. So now we have a double door, but we want it to open at the same time together, okay? And so that's where this is going to get a little weird. So what we're going to do is we're going to take another... I think they're advanced recipes. Let me look real quick at little tiles. Well, little. And then I think you have the advanced recipe. And we can make one of, well, 5 of those, I guess, apparently. And we're going to take one of these. We're going to take that guy and we're going to click him there. And click him there. And that should give us... It did not. Okay, hold on. One moment. Ah, yeah, I forgot something. Alright, so before we do the advanced recipe, we actually need to get the chisel out again. We need to put a frame around the door. Okay? So we're going to go in here, we're going to go apostrophe, and I'm going to do the frame around this door is going to be weedwood. I'm going to do weedwood. And then we're going to take this... Gonna build with a chisel, weedwood frame around this guy, like this, like that. Ooh, what just happened there? Oh, that's just a graphical thing, I think. I think that's, yeah. See, because I can't put there. That's just a graphical glitch. Don't worry about that. We're gonna go U all the way over here to a U. That U all the way over here to U, like that. Okay, so now we've got a frame around the door. Wrong. So what you do is, this actually uses a right and a left click. So we're going to come here to this door guy, and we're going to left click for the first position on that top corner pixel. And then we're going to come over here, and we're going to right click on this pixel for the second position. Okay? And so it still doesn't look like there's anything in the advanced recipe, but what we're going to do is we're going to hit the apostrophe to go in here, and we're just going to say save. And then that adds that to there. So there's our double door with our frame. And if we come to door activator in this case, you can tell it both doors, right? And we're going to do save, and you can see that it'll open both doors, just like that. Do you just build? He just builds. You see that? That's cool. Let's Control Z that though. Apparently you don't need to build him in the thing. This guy. So now we put him back in here. Get him lined up to where we want him. Right there. Bam. And now we should have our double door. Let's get rid of all this. Do you go away? That's gone. Bam. Now we have a double door that matches everything else. We can see out. It's nice. Probably would have liked it if it would have rotated. Let's see if we can pop this up and rotate it real quick. Multi-structure. Let's not confuse this real quick. Let me open up my bag and get rid of this one. I'm gonna keep him on, put him over here, and pop him off. Got him back. Alright, let's bam bam him. I want him to rotate outward. There we go. Now we have a double door made with multi-block, or made with little tiles, that looks the way we want it to look, behaves the way we want it to behave. A little tricky figuring out the parts, but that's okay. And then we'll clean this up with tiles, or planes. And get rid of you. Like that. Get all our bits back, and now we got some pretty interesting things going on here. We got doors that rotate up, slide up and down. We got doors that rotate out, made of the materials that we want. They're 1.5 wide, so we have a 3 wide door, which just fits this base, right? And there is our swamp tower. Alright, and so just to do a quick look at the other tools here. Like I said, I don't want to do a full thing, but let's say we're going to start with our chisel real quick. And let's just we'll play with a box here. Yeah, we already set the box, so that's good. So come here up against, we get back some cobblestone, and we'll use that as our backing real quick. Un momento. Okay, take a box there, like that. Alright, and we're going to build a box out of little chisels. We're going to do weedwood plank box, okay? So we're going to click him, drag him to here, drag him up, like that. And then we're going to click, we're just going to do into the corner, like this. Just a shape like this, okay? So we've built that. There's our little chisels structure that we've built. Now, the paint tool is pretty cool. In that, let's go to the apostrophe. You can choose colors that you want. So if you know what the colors are, you can pull them in here. And let's say we want purple. Let's just go purple. And we want it to be by tile or by drag box, or again, all of these are the shapes that you can do. Drag line, drag wall. Let's go cylinder. No, let's not do cylinder. That'd be weird. Let's just do drag box, okay? And if we right click here and come over to here and right click again, or is this a left click? This one might be a left click. Nope. Yeah, left click here and then drag over this way. and left click again, and it paints everything within that box space that we just did purple. But it doesn't replace the texture that's there, it just kind of puts paint over top of it. So you can still see the texture in there, right? But you've painted it purple. And you notice we did a box from here to here, so all this hollow space here didn't get hit because it didn't exist. But if we were to put another drag box in here, for example, you notice it's not painted, and that's because it wasn't there when it started, so it's just painting everything within that box space that you had there. So this is a really cool tool in that you can paint whole things. I'm on the paintbrush, and you get back on the paintbrush, sorry. You can paint whole things in there if you want. Cubes. We can go left click. Is this a drag cube? I don't think so. Oh, maybe that's the size-based one. Let's say a 6 cube wide. Yeah, see? So you can count. Yeah, you can see it now on there. Anything within that area is going to paint purple. But you can also paint other stuff. It doesn't have to be just that. It could be there too, right? So that's now purple as well. And if we break this, just like with anything else, we've converted this into little tiles. So you got to remember that anytime that you do any changes to a regular block, you've changed that block into all of the individual tiles. So just something to keep in mind. And now if we look in our bag, we probably have cobblestone. Yeah, we've got like 1 block's worth of cobblestone tiles in there. So that's the paint tool. The saw tool, what he does is he adds or removes from existing planes. So he doesn't have an apostrophe, so he's just going to do entire blocks areas. So let me get rid of this little area first that we added, this little extra. Alright, so that's gone. So now if we take the saw and we get back on the saw. If we take the saw and we right click, see how it brings that out like that? And the reason it's doing it there and not the entire side is because of the different painting and stuff that we've done. We've kind of converted these into different planes. So it's going to grab the logical planes. So on a right click, it'll lift those. And so you can extrude is the correct word. You can extrude planes this way. So as you're building, you can like make things thicker or less if you want. And then if you shift right click, he will remove things. And so we can unextrude all of these back down, and he won't go past 1 thin, by the way, so you can't extrude it away completely, but he'll go until it's 1 thin. So there you go. That's what the saw does. Pretty simple tool. Now the hand tool is more complicated. He's weird and I don't fully understand him, but we'll look a little bit at it. He's got pixel mode here, and I'm not sure about recipe mode. I haven't figured that one out yet. But pixel mode, he can basically create boxes, I guess. Hold on, let me think of the best way to explain this is. See, he is currently putting stuff down that way. Hold on one moment. Excuse me, sorry, I had to clear my throat there. Alright, so pixel mode, right now we've got him 1 by 1 by 1. He creates 1 by 1 by 1 box, and they're white. So you see that? Even though he is using polished limestone. So let's say we change this to between stone bricks. He's now putting between stone bricks in. So when it's all set to white on the color like that, he's not changing the look, basically. But if you adjust this, he'll put between stone bricks that are adjusted by that color. See? And then if you wanted to change this to where he's making a bigger box, you can make it be like, place a 16 box like there, 16 by 10 by 3, for example, or 4. Whatever, 4. Now he'll put it like that. Now you can just go, whoop, and it'll go like that. So that's what the first mode, the pixel mode, does, is he just drops in boxes. And then I think he can decrease as well. I think we can do shift right click or shift left. Is it left click? Hold on, let me look. Alright, I think it's... Is it middle click? Nope. Okay, so the only thing I'm seeing this guy do is put in boxes. I think there's other ways to do it, but I haven't figured that out yet. Like I said, this tool is a little more complicated. But if we go into the next mode of this, there's replace mode, okay? And so replace mode does, I think he does the same thing where he will, let's say we want to replace all of this with cobblestone, for example. So if we middle click in that, and then we right click on these planes, he's replacing with cobblestone. See what I mean? So if you wanted to replace a material with another kind of material, you could just go through that. And let's say we want to do it as weedwood logs, middle click on the weedwood logs, and now when we right click on these faces, you're getting that. So let's say when we make this whole area and we decide, crap, I really don't like this stuff. This, whatever this is, this limestone. Well, you could click on whatever the new material is with your middle click button. Let's do cobblestone. And then you could come here and you could right click and it'll replace all of that with cobblestone, right? And you can do a custom color cobblestone at the same time if you want. You see when I built this window, it was done with lines and boxes, so you would spend a lot of time trying to get that to do that. But if you drag around like that, it would do it that way. But we're going to Control Z that and put my stuff back the way it goes. There we go. But that's kind of what that does. And then there's a recipe mode, which I don't really know anything about. So I'm not going to try to explain it to you because it would be me kind of fumbling over myself. So those are the basic tools in Little Tiles. And you can see probably as you play with the different things and you play with the different recipes, there's a lot of stuff you can do with it. I'm really excited about the different doors and the different like chairs and stuff like that. So you can make your own throne and sit on it. You have your own bed that you can sleep in. You can do all kinds of stuff. Ladder, you can make your own looking ladders and stuff. It's a pretty powerful mod. I'm glad I discovered it, and I'm glad I found, you know, 2 Asgard's tutorials on it because he did a really good job there. So I definitely recommend you look at that link that I'm going to have in the description and watch the in-depth how to use this mod and play with it and make your own creations. So I've been out hunting up other scrolls, finding more dungeons to clear out and run through them real quick. So we're at 32 scrolls right now. We still need to find our our voodoo doll. So we're gonna keep doing this until this is done. You don't want to, I've discovered you don't want to animate this, or you don't want to automate this part of it. I've got it automating sulfur where it'll just pull sulfur in when it needs it. But if you do the scrolls, it'll stack them all up in one place, and then it'll happen once, and you won't get what you need out of it. So I'm gonna sit here and do this till I run through the scrolls real quick, and I'm actually timing the bottle this all. That way it's quicker, and I'll catch up with you when we know what we're getting. Having all of these white hearts has paid off a lot because I can repair my life crystals really easily. Got tons of them now because of having the whites on farm. But we've cleared through all of those scrolls, so let's see what we have. Got extra white hearts in my hand here. Hold on. Go away. Let's see what we got. We got a skull mask. We got 2 item scrolls. I don't know how we got item scrolls. We got octane ingots, valenite shards, another skull mask. We got hag hackers. We got some music discs, which I'm going to hang on to those. We got a magic item magnet. Alright, let's see how that does. Toss. Let's turn off our Y because that will confuse this. Turn off our magnet card. Okay, and if we throw that out there, I guess that's the thing we need, huh? We throw that out there. Aha! So now when we have stuff, it'll pull to us. So we've got like full-on magnetic. Not that we need it because we have our magnet card, but it looks like that's what that does. If you're playing this without, you know, this card here, that's a pretty cool thing there. What else do we have? We have a hag hacker. We got a ring of power. That's a cool ring. I remember that. We got 2 of those actually. We got a white's bane that fights whites. We got 2 swift picks, which were before, you know, we had this badass pick. These are awesome because they They dig through stuff super fast. They're really, really good picks for if you don't have, like, you know, a way to make a godlike pick like we did. Another Ring of Power, another Hag Hacker, another Whitesbane, another Amulet, some Ceremerite, and Voodoo Doll, which that's what we needed. So boom, we've completed that final quest here in Adam's pack. Alright, so let's say you didn't get your Voodoo Doll, right? You went through all of this, you didn't get your Voodoo Doll, and you have no more scrolls, and you haven't found any more dungeons. You can actually take some of this loot. Let's take some of these weapons that we don't care about. And you can make what's called loot shards out of them, I think. Loot shard. Or loot, what are they called? It's loot something. I'll know it when I see it real quick. Hold on. Here, loot scraps. And what you can do to get loot scraps is you can take these different things that you had and you put them over here in your mortar and pestle. So let's say we want to grind these guys up. He'll go through and he'll grind them all up, right? The mortar and pestle, and make loot scraps out of them for you. Okay, and then you can take your loot scraps that you got, and you can then come in here and you go, let me see how this works. Take your loot scraps, you take those with a fabricated scroll in the animator, and you'll get, well, I'm sorry, you take a mate paper with those 3 loot scraps, and you can make a fabricated guy there. So a mate paper is made we've looted a ton of it, but if you want to make your own, you make it with that dry bark. So those hollow logs out there we've been getting, we've got a ton of that. So those become a mate paper, right? So now you've got a mate paper. You take that a mate paper, and let's go. I need 1 piece. Put that guy there, and you can put your 3 loot scraps here, and you get a fabricated skull or scroll. And that's as good as one of these, basically, as far as, like, you can animate it and get something out of it. I don't even know what we got. That went too quick. I think we pulled it out before. Let me look at what I'm telling this. I need to tell this not to pull out fabricated scrolls either. We have our filter set here, so don't take that either. Right now, don't take the sulfur out, don't take the scroll out, don't take the fabricated scroll out. So boom, same thing, boom, there. Okay, put this back real quick, bam bam, try that again. And so he'll do that thing. Let's make him fast. And we got more octane. Octane was going up. So that's what you can do, is you can take a lot of that loot, you can melt it down, and then you can, you know, make fabricated scrolls out of it. I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of these real quick because we don't have a need of them anymore. And we got another one of those. And what do we get here? Nothing yet. And what do we get? We got a sludge slicer. Interesting. Okay. So that's basically that in a nutshell. That's how you get your Voodoo Doll. I'm going to put all this stuff in the network. Put it back in the network. That covers that. We know we got the cheese in the network later on. That's cool. Put that in there. Put that in there. Now, let's see what we have left here on the exploration. That finishes out this for us. We got another music disc. And that whole section is done. So we are done with Adam's stuff for the Minecraft internal stuff.